The Revival, Tye Dillinger, and Shinsuke Nakamura all made their debuts on Raw and SmackDown Live after Mania. And okay, let's start out with the Revival. The tag team division on Raw leaders, New Day, called out saying that they were disappointed that they didn't get a match at WrestleMania, or they weren't part of the ladder match, and they gave it to the Hardy Boys, or the Broken Hardys, if you still want to call them that, since they said the gimmick right now is over for now, at least until this legal battle with TNA's done. And they did an open challenge to anybody on the main roster. And out comes the Revival, and here was my best way to describe my reaction. Okay, imagine me being Darth Vader in Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith screaming, "No!" but of pure anger than misery. Why? Because I wanted the Revival to be on SmackDown, along with DIY. Because the Revival can live up to his name as reviving the tag team division on there, because SmackDown Live's tag team division is not really doing so well when there's only 4 people. I'm like, the rest they'll be added in, but they're just filler. But yeah, I was disheartened that the Revival's on Raw, because now my worst case scenario might become reality, where I said in a previous video that I feared that the Revival and DIY could show up on Raw instead of one of the two teams going on SmackDown. And my hopeful case scenario was that they both go to SmackDown. My realistic case was that the Revival goes to SmackDown and DIY goes to Raw to be part of the Cruiserweight division. But even I can't get that right. So, yeah. Now my worst case scenario is probably going to happen, since DIY are cruiserweights and Vince McMahon says, "Oh, you're cruiserweights. You don't need to be a tag team no matter how popular it is." And there we go. And now I'm hoping that the Revival still get booked as the Revival, and I hope they get tag team gold in the future and not just become a cog in the wheel. So that's my big hopeful case for that. Now let's get to Tye Dillinger. Kurt Hawkins went on SmackDown Live and said, "I want an open challenge because that's all about me." And Tye Dillinger came out before they even announced it, who it was. Everyone was shouting 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, which is just hilarious because everyone knew, yeah, you're Kurt Hawkins. We know who's going to come out, and we know what our expectations are for main rosterville for him. Tye Dillinger debuts doing his signature 10, and he beats up Kurt Hawkins in his debut match. And the Revival also beat the New Day, so that's fun for them. So they just toppled the longest reigning tag team champions. Though, of course, the Ascension debuted after beating the former tag team champions Miz and Sandow, so considering what happened with the Ascension afterwards, yeah, I'm going to say that I'm going to wait for that, see how the Revival's booked. But moving on, Tye Dillinger makes his debut, beats Kurt Hawkins in like 3 minutes. Okay. Honestly, I was expecting like maybe Dolph Ziggler calling out a New Era guy, and Tye Dillinger makes his debut, because Dolph Ziggler is at war with the New Era, even though he got eliminated by Mojo Rawley, and therefore all former credibility is now dead to him. Yeah, really think about that. Like, Luke Harper's credibility was destroyed because he got eliminated by Titus O'Neil. And we saw his worst ever promo on Raw, so that should say something. I thought Tye Dillinger would debut against Dolph Ziggler, and now we got Kurt Hawkins, which means I'm fearing that that's the possibility where he's at. You may be popular with fans, but we're going to think you're at Kurt Hawkins level. As in, you're just above it at least. So, it would have been interesting if it was Dolph Ziggler who he beat, because, well, it's Dolph Ziggler, but at the same time, his credibility is not that to Mojo Rawley. So, yeah. And it's also disheartening to see him leave NXT. One is because he didn't get that ending to with Eric Young. Like, I thought they were still going to do the Sandy storyline with him. and eventually it leads to him versus Eric Young for the NXT Championship when Eric Young wins it, and that would have been a huge emotional moment for Tye Dillinger, becoming NXT champion, having a reign with it for a bit, then go to main rosterville. In fact, it was reported that after the Royal Rumble, they had no intention to bring him to the main roster yet, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. Well, it's been 3 months. Do it. So, I was curious as to know, what are they going to do with Tye Dillinger on the main roster? If they had him debut against Dolph Ziggler, that would have said something. I don't know what, but something. But he's going to fight Kurt Hawkins, so yeah, you're not helping me here, WWE. Like, you screwed up Bray Wyatt big time at WrestleMania again. For the 4th time in a row, he's lost 3 matches. He didn't compete in the third WrestleMania afterwards. So, yeah. And let's get to what everyone was hoping for. You see, during the segment, The Miz and Maurice came out as John Cena and Nikki Bella respectively, and they mocked them, which was entertaining as hell. The Total Bella's BS segment. And they are just making the most of it. This really shows SmackDown's creative freedom vibe I get from them. Like, it sounds like Miz and Maurice are actually having fun with this gimmick. Like, let's take it further. Let's box Cena's reality-based storyline segments with these potentially idealistic viewpoints of how the IWC views Cena and Nikki. Wouldn't be surprised if that was true, though. But, yeah, you see, after Miz's little antics as John Cena, saying that he was leaving for Hollywood and saying goodbye, and the fans were chanting "No more Cena," we hear a familiar violinist play, and we are like, "Oh, it's happening! Shinsuke Nakamura's coming!" And sure enough, he comes out, does his signature entrance, all seizure-inducing most likely, much to the audience's delight. I'm still questioning about that entrance with all the flashing lights. Yeah. But anyways, nonetheless, since there are no report seizures, they won't cut it yet. As far as I know. But yeah, Shinsuke Nakamura debuts, he comes out, does his entrance, and then it just stops. Wow, no confrontation with The Miz? No beating up The Miz? Like, what was the... Like, I had a feeling Shinsuke would make his debut during the Miz segment since John Cena and Nikki Bella aren't at the show because they went back to Hollywood to film another movie while Nikki Bella recovers from her neck. Since now it's been reported that she's suffering from a neck issue. So, yeah, I was curious as to know what happened there. Like, Shinsuke Nakamura didn't attack Miz, he didn't do a promo where he would absolutely own the Miz at some point in it. Though the Miz might be able to hang with him, considering how the Miz managed to sway the audience at one point to say, "You sold out!" to John Cena. So, it made me curious as to know, why didn't the Miz and Shinsuke go at it? Like, I was really hoping for a promo between the two, since, you know, it's Miz and Shinsuke Nakamura. They like to create a riot in the ring. So, now that Shinsuke Nakamura is on SmackDown, this leads to a curious thing. Since Shinsuke is on SmackDown, and we're going to see a bunch of great matches, guaranteed, will he become world champion? My hope is yes, but it comes down to Vincent McMahon, you know, Mr. Senile, who will be whispered in his ear by Kevin Dunn, who will say, "Screw the NXT guys, they're weak, they're nothing." Because Vince is a complete moron nowadays. Again, that's a little too harsh. Senile, let's go with that. And while AJ Styles has had success, for now at least, he's heading to Raw, according to rumors, which might be a disaster. even though he says he doesn't want to leave SmackDown, and he said that to Shane. So, yeah, I was curious as to know what's going to happen on that. But now, Shinsuke Nakamura, like, he has the best hope out of both Revival and Tye Dillinger, because the Revival, they could get lost in the shuffle to Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, and Tye Dillinger, with his match with Kurt Hawkins, I'm getting the feeling like that's the level Vince McMahon's going to keep him at. Just do the 10 thing and be done with it. While Shinsuke Nakamura has the biggest potential because you can't take your eyes off the screen with him. Like, WWE looks at Tye Dillinger and says, "Oh, you're 10 chant. Yeah, we wanted that. That's what makes you unique to us." It's comparable to the yes chants. The next yes chants. Hey, because at least it's better than the what chants. Oh my god, that chant becomes so annoying. Like, it was funny at first, but as the years went by and fans did it more as in a disrespectful manner, I just got sick of it. Like, if the heel is being a really, really, really bad heel, and I mean like the villainous type, not like bad as in, oh, you're doing a bad job at this, then you can say the what chance to annoy the heel, like R-Truth did. But now it seems it happens every single time. Like with Charlotte, and I get to it a degree since Charlotte sounds like a robot, like nearly 90% of the time. I don't get it. I don't get her promos. Like, they just sound so robotic to me. So, Shinsuke Nakamura, I see him becoming world champion, but he has to beat Randy Orton, who just won his title reign. It would have been interesting to see Bray Wyatt versus Shinsuke Nakamura at SummerSlam, where Shinsuke gets the win. That would have been okay with that. That would have been the proper way to end Bray Wyatt's first title reign. But no, screw Wyatt, screw Bray Wyatt's career. We really hate the guy for some twisted mythological reasoning. Even though his father's a Hall of Famer. We don't care. Maybe that's why his father didn't really seem to be ecstatic when he sent congrats. Yeah, he sent him by text message, and I think Bray Wyatt was confused I think Bray Wyatt outside the ring was confused by that congratulations. Yeah. So, yeah, it was amazing that DIY didn't make their debut. Like, I was just waiting like, oh, well, here comes DIY to Raw. Are they making their debut on 205 Live, which means that sucks a little bit more, because while 205 Live could use the boost, DIY debuting on 205 Live kind of sounds like a cop-out to me, because it feels like they know DIY is popular. I was honestly expecting them to show up. In fact, I was expecting them to show up on SmackDown this week at the time of this video, because I was thinking to myself, oh, are the Usos going to call out the next tag team guys to challenge them for the tag team titles? And the Usos didn't show up. Like, the tag team division's on vacation. So that was disappointing. Like, I was seriously hoping for DIY to show up and the Usos to drop the tag team belts. You know, of course, it would be a little too soon since they just got off of a huge matchup with American Alpha, so I'd be a little mixed about that. Though I would love it at the same time, because it's DIY. They can produce great matches. They got a great match out of Authors of Pain, and I thought there would be no hope for them as just big guys who just dominate. So at least they crushed my expectations on that. So those are my thoughts on the Revival, Tye Dillinger, and Shinsuke Nakamura making their main roster debuts. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.